welcome. It's another episode of The Lawyer's Corner, right?
Yes, it is.
So, welcome to AJAWI TV, where we discuss architecture and construction-related topics. I'm your host, I'm AJAWI, and my co-host for the Lawyer's Corner, Miss Christabel Musazi.
Excellent.
I said it right?
Excellent.
So yes guys, she's back with us today and we'll be asking her some questions in relation to, she doesn't know the topic as yet. Do you want to say hi?
Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here again. Thank you for the feedback from the last one. I think it was very positive. I enjoyed myself. AJAWI is an excellent interviewer as well as an architect. So
no, not an architect. I'm an architectural technologist.
Architectural technologist.
Yes.
For now.
So, welcome back.
All
welcome back. A few questions were asked by some of our subscribers. One particular question that I think I should ask is they wanted to know where you studied, in Jamaica or back in your home country.
Well, I studied both in Jamaica and in my home country. What happens is I qualified there. Mm-hmm. I actually have also studied in England, and then I moved to Jamaica and requalified here.
Nice.
So, really diverse background. Yeah.
Yeah. So she studied here. She studied in
Uganda, and studied in the UK.
In the UK. All right, guys. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
All right. So the topic for today, Christabel does not know it. I haven't sent her any. I didn't send you any questions either, right?
Not at all.
So it's on the spot questions, guys, and we'll be doing it in a scenario.
Okay.
In particular, a scenario that I experienced, right? And I'll tell you the scenario, and then we will break it down from there. All right?
All right.
So the topic for today is how to avoid possession of property by adverse possession if you're living overseas and you have land in Jamaica. How do you avoid your land being possessed by somebody by means of adverse possession? We want to look at what is adverse possession and how we can avoid it. Right?
Okay. Well, adverse possession is a situation where someone has been in occupation of land for over 12 years, continued, undisrupted. All right, sorry, disrupted. Undisturbed and disrupted, meaning it is 12 continuous years. In that time, no one has come and told you to leave the property. In that time, it's open. Everyone sees you. Open, quiet possession. All right, and you've been on the land for 12 years. So if you've been on land for 12 years, and the land was unoccupied and no one has come and disturbed your occupancy, then you can get adverse possession. All right. Be mindful though that tenancy rights do not equal possession rights. So if you have a tenancy agreement, you are not entitled to adverse possession.
Okay, that leads into one question. So there was a scenario where somebody was on a property, right?
Yeah.
There was an agreement established between wife and landlord.
Okay.
The wife married, well, she wasn't married before. She made the agreement with the landlord.
I married him?
No. Well, that would be a good answer for the show. But she wasn't married. She got married to somebody else, right? Within that period of agreement.
Okay.
The landlord gave her permission to stay on the land for a period of time.
Yeah.
What happened is the wife passed on. So the husband is still on the land.
Okay.
Over a 12-year period. Now the landlord passed on and his kids are now the owner of the land, rightful owner, right? But they want to get off the husband, and he was given some issues, or he had some objections, and they had to take him to court. Can he possibly win such a situation to say he has come of possession of that land by means of adverse possession because he was on the land, even though the wife passed on? He's now contesting that.
Well, technically, no. But you have to kind of look at the details. One, how long after the wife died was he on the land? Like between the wife's death to the children's contestation.
Yeah. So
what was the period? All right, that's a fast thing, because it could have been a tenancy that then became a situation of adverse possession. The second question is, did he have a tenancy agreement with the person who's deceased or with the children? If he had a tenancy agreement, then he has no rights. But if it was a case where initially his wife was a tenant, and then after that he came on the land, then 12 years started after the wife died until the sons and daughters got there,
it's a tricky situation.
It's a tricky situation.
Yeah. So if you have somebody occupying a property and they are not paying the rent and you're not disturbing them, they can possibly contest for adverse possession.
Yeah.
Because you did not insist on them paying rent and you did not disturb them during that period.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a tricky situation.
It's a tricky situation. The best thing to do is, one, get things in writing. Try as much as possible to have a tenancy agreement. Okay, tenancy can be inferred by the paying of rent, but just have an agreement to cover yourself. And then, if you have someone on your land, make sure they're paying something. So, two things that protect you.
All right. So another scenario is this. So I went to do a submittal at the parish council, right?
Yeah.
And a gentleman came back from overseas. He was living in England, right? So he went to the parish council. He went to his land first, and he saw that somebody constructed something on his property. I'm going to tell you what is on it, right? And he went to the parish council now and asked the parish council, how come somebody built something on his land without any approval from the parish council or the parish council interjecting, right? And they told him that there is nothing that they can do. The person is on the land. So that he fell on the ground in the parish council.
Oh gosh.
Yes, on his knees in the parish council, crying, because he's been overseas for a long time. Didn't check on the land, didn't come back to look at it. He's just of the impression that he's coming back to his land.
Wow.
Right? Now here is the kicker to it. They built or buried somebody on the property. They buried their family member on that property. And he has the problem. So I want to know, in such a scenario, would he be able to get back possession of his land, or is that even a situation of adverse possession?
Well, let me tell you, we always go back to the same thing for adverse possession. How long have they been in possession of the land? And for that particular scenario, it sounds like they were undisturbed for a good long
time. So
he technically no longer has rights to the land, but actually if it's over 12 years, he has no rights to that land. All right.
Wow.
And maybe let me give a little background to adverse possession. I don't know if you know how adverse possession came to be.
Interesting
all
to
right?
know.
So in the past, in history, you used to have feudal lords, okay? These were typically maybe the masters, all right? Had all this land, so you can imagine they owned maybe the whole of Hope Pastures, all right? I don't know what, when you look at the titles, I think it's maybe, I don't want to say the wrong thing and say Hopen or the whole of Mona. Remember, Mona Estate, all right?
I think it's Hopen. I think it's
Hopen,
Yeah.
all right? So now these people were living in places like, let us say, the owner of the whole estate. Well, and this is hypothetical, so I don't want to say someone to tell me that, oh, I said the owner of Hope Pastors used to live, but they owned these large chunks of land and other people could not own the land. So adverse possession kind of came in to correct all that was wrong, all right?
Okay.
And that is not saying that was the case in Jamaica, but this is the historic explanation to why squatters were given rights, all right? And this is something international that at the end of the day, even in my country, Uganda, we had people who had chunks of land that were left undeveloped. So that's how, at the end of the day, squatters had to kind of be recognized because it was a way for the ordinary person to get land. Ordinary people couldn't get land.
Yeah.
But the only thing is now it gets tricky because people are taking over people's land.
Now, there is another aspect of it where if you are paying the taxes on the property over that period of time, as the person living on the property, if it is that you are paying the taxes for it while you're occupying over that 12 years versus if the other person is paying the taxes, does that kind of...
Okay, I don't know where the misconception came from that if you are paying the taxes, then you have adverse possession rights, because you hear it all the time, all right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it again. You need to have stayed on the land for 12 years, having quiet possession, open quiet possession, meaning everyone can see you and no one is disturbing you, and you're there for 12 years. That's what gives you the rights, all right? If it is that no one knows that you are in possession for these 12 years and you're paying taxes, you can't have any rights, all right? So for people who are looking to get adverse possession, or people who are afraid that people are going to take over their property, just remember, it's 12 years, all right? It's open, no one is contesting your possession, and that's how you get the rights, all right?
So you can look at it from the perspective of if 11 years and on, because it's 365 days in a year.
Exactly.
If on the 364 day, 11 years and 364 day, and somebody come and say, this is my land, you need to get off.
Yes.
You cannot get adverse possession.
Exactly.
Because it hasn't reached that 12-year period.
Yeah.
So I hope that clarifies. But in the scenario of that gentleman, but I felt really
bad for him.
Really bad for him. And the thing is, you can avoid something like that.
Exactly.
Routine checks on your property.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Routine checks. Contact your realtor. They can contact you and you can go and look for them.
You can contact anyone.
Yeah, and AJAWI does
AJAWI can do it for you.
So it's something that those that are overseas need to
be mindful of. Exactly.
Right. Now, as it relates to burying somebody on a property, that is a whole new kettle of fish, because there is a, what they call it, the parish council now classifies that property as a burial ground. Yeah, so the way how it is in Jamaica is that in order to bury somebody on your property, you're supposed to get an approval from the parish council. Now, we don't know what the dynamics of that is.
Of that particular situation.
But the issue is now to really move a grave or move a burial from a property to another location. That's a whole new kettle of fish.
Exactly.
That will cause a lot of problems because I don't think they're going to just allow you to just go and dig up a grave like that.
Exactly. And that takes us right back to what we are saying. At the end of the day, your land is it's something important. So you need to make sure that you are checking on it, looking after it, so that you don't get yourself in more complexity when you're trying to take over your land. All right, take back your land.
Routine, check on it.
Yeah.
And even if you're not here, you can always talk to your lawyer to actually do a notice to whoever is on the property.
Yeah.
Right. One of the ways that we address that issue is that we do what is called, or we call, a drone survey or site investigation. And it's just to visit the property, to do a drone flyover to see what is on the property, and then provide a feedback to the client. Exactly. So in such a situation, they would now know that, hey, something is happening on the property, which they can then contact you to really issue a notice to them. And
I'm glad that you brought up the drone survey, because a lot of my clients have used it also for even if it's not land that you own, you're buying a new property, you just want to look at it and make sure that it is appropriate. And this gives you a good real-time indication of what you're buying. So it's something that I highly recommend. All right. So before you proceed to come to your conveyancing attorney, all right, or to secure your property so that it is not subject to adverse possession, have it surveyed. AJAWI can do it for you, and then we'll be able to proceed to help you purchase your property or help you give out notices and write letters to make sure that your property is secure. And if in any event you decide you want to do a tenancy, we can guide you.
Building your dream home should be an exciting and fulfilling experience. But we understand the stress and challenges that often accompany construction projects. At AJAWI Limited, we believe that designing and building your home should be stress-free. Our goal is to eliminate that stress by delivering your projects within budget while exceeding your expectations. What sets us apart is our comprehensive one-stop-shop solution. From design to construction, we handle every aspect of your residential project, ensuring a seamless and hassle-free experience. Throughout the entire process, we maintain complete transparency. You'll receive real-time updates, allowing you to stay informed and involved every step of the way. With advanced technologies like 360-degree video site inspection, drone survey, and building information modeling, we bridge the distance. Even if you're miles away, we make it as if you're right here in Jamaica. Don't let distance or stress hinder your dream of a perfect home. Contact AJAWI Limited today at 876-312-6036 and take the first step towards making your dream home a reality. AJAWI Limited, your trusted partner in building dreams.
If it is that you have been living on the property, undisturbed, nobody not come bother you, right, over that 12-year period, what steps or how do I go about possessing that land?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. There is an application, a form that we would draft, okay, and have you apply to get the land. This form is supported by a statutory declaration, which is like an oath, an affidavit, saying that you have been in occupation of the land undisturbed for 12 years. You also need people who have known about the land and known that you are in possession of the land for over 30 years, and then they will swear also statutory declarations, and you will also need to engage the services of a surveyor who's going to do something called a pre-check plan, and that pre-check plan basically demarcates the property, the area, okay, and that is added to your application along with your property tax receipt, and you go through the process of applying for adverse possession from the National Land Agency. All right, so it can be done. It's a little bit of a tedious process,
Lengthy?
Yeah, lengthy process, but it can be done, and it's something that we have done a lot. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can look at that.
Now, here's another spin to it. So, my great-great-grandaunt had possession of this land. Pass it down to my mother, some way, somehow, trickle down and reach my parents, or my mother or my father. But there's no title for it. Can I then go the route of adverse possession to get that property as the child that would have taken it over?
To be honest, you would also really have to go to fast registration, because now you have to register the land. Similarly, you need to put in an application. You need to swear. People who have known you and known the land for over 30 years also need to support your application and say, the AJAWI family have been here. You also need to get a surveyor to do the pre-checked plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are multiple ways to possess land then.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I asked is because I recently spoke to somebody in relation to something like that. And they were saying a lot of people have possession of land, or they are living on the land, but they don't know where the title is, or they don't have any record of their parents owning that property.
Yeah.
And they've been there for decades.
Well, the good thing is right now there's a push to get more people having their land registered. You have a department called Land Administration and Management Department. LAMD.
Yeah.
No, they've changed it to LAMD. That's why I'm LAMD. It's now LAMD. And in fairness, they are doing a lot of work to help people facilitate you getting your titles. So it is making it much quicker. And to be honest, having a certificate of title is one step that can get you closer to wealth creation.
Yeah.
When you have your title, you can go to the bank, you can get a loan. It's going to put you in a different level. It's going to take you to a category.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everyone to proceed and get your title. It can be done, all right? And the government is facilitating people to do this.
Yeah. I think what a lot of Jamaicans don't understand about land ownership is that it leads to generational wealth.
Yes, it does.
Look at it this way. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? When a parent owns a property and they are going, that's just the reality of life. They are going and you're coming as the child. If it is that they don't make necessary preparations to pass that land down to you, you are going to be starting from scratch.
Exactly.
So they started from scratch because their parents didn't make the necessary preparation. And then as the younger one coming in, you're going to have to start from scratch. So I would encourage, especially young people, if it is that you are looking at land ownership, look at succession planning in the process. And that's where your lawyer comes in to be able to pass that on. Because a lot of these properties that you see people have and they're wealthy in Jamaica, it's because somewhere along the line their parents acquired a lot of property and left it, and the next generation come, then probably sell off a piece, develop a piece, and that just continue down the line. So those that you see that have a lot of land or they're now making some big moves is because they have been planning for like decades. I think the other day I was watching what was it, Lee's Radials Road. They have been doing planning for decades.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Like the bank, I was listening to their story and it was a situation where their great-great-great-grandfather did some planning to say, okay, this is what will happen, and it is being accomplished now.
No. Wow.
So yeah, As Jamaicans, even when you're overseas, think long term when it comes down to property acquisition, even regularizing, getting title. Look at how do you then pass that on to your kids, right?
And connected to that, well, I'm a person who is in real estate, so maybe I'm biased, but you think about it. If you say want to buy a property for 10 million, all right, and you have $1 million, all right, you have two options. You're saying, do I put my money into buying this land, or do I put this money into stocks? If you put it in the stock market, or in something, say or in bonds, you invest it. And I'm not bashing any of these other investments. Let us say you get a very good investment deal where it's going to increase by 100%. All right. In 5 years' time, your 1 million, could grow to 2 million. All right. If you get the same 1 million and you put it in a property, all right, and you will be paying monthly, all right, you get a loan of 9 million. In those same, did I say 5 years?
5 years, 10 years?
No, all right, let us say the 1 million that you put in 5 years, it could be 2 million. The same 1 million, if you put it in real estate, all right, in the next 5 years, that property could be worth 15 million, 17 million. So that capital that you're building, I don't know of any other investment personally, correct me if I'm wrong, that will give you, that will make your 1 million grow, multiply that quickly. We understand that you will have to pay off the bank, but still it's growing at a faster rate.
Yeah, and even with paying the bank, there are certain things that you put in place so that when you are gone, your kids don't necessarily have to worry about that. So even if you are looking at it as, okay, you purchase property. Right? I'm not a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors, by the way. Yeah. Right? But even if you purchase a property and you're paying mortgage, the next step should probably be to get an insurance on yourself so that when you pass on, that insurance covers that, yes. And then your children don't have to deal with that mortgage anymore. Yeah. So
actually, for most mortgages in Jamaica, you have to have insurance.
Yeah. So there you go. You heard it here. We're not financial advisors. Just always consult with the right people. We can speak about, you can speak about law, I can speak about design, but in other areas we can't really, we're not the professionals in those areas. So consult with your banker in relation to those things. Yeah. And another aspect of it I wanted to touch on is like creating like an estate so that when you pass on, that land is already set up in such a way that you pass on very easily to your kids. Right?
Yeah. And the most secure way to do that is have a will done. I know many people feel that a will is going to bring you bad luck. It's going
especially in Jamaica.
Whether you have a will or not, you're going to die. So might as well die with a will. It makes life so much easier for you, and it's basically states what you want to be done. All right.
So guys, there you have it. It's a juicy conversation, right? Very informative. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, leave it in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell to show us that you like these videos or this type of video and you want to see more. Alright, if you have a specific topic that you want us to touch on, you can always make a suggestion. So we're going to end off with Miss Christabel giving us her contact information.
Alright, thank you again for having me. I am located at Unit 12B, 134 Constant Spring Road. You can reach me at my email cm@christabellaw.com. And my contact number is 867-665-3934.
And you know where to find AJAWI. So,
Yeah.
do I need to say it? Just hit the like, hit the subscribe, and reach out to us, and we'll do our best to make sure that we treat you with the utmost importance, because you're that important to us. All right? See you next time on Lawyers Corner.